This is the Girls of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. What we're going to talk about today is how you can fall in love and stay in love with the right guy. Falling in love is a very, very simple thing. The more I talk to women about what kind of guys they're interested in, the more often they speak to me about, I want a masculine man compared to a feminine man. I wonder why. This is because of an ingrained desire in the woman to look up to her man. This is what happens when she meets the guy that she's suddenly attracted to. She's like, he knows something that I don't know. He's able to do things that I'm not able to do. And he can take me places where I cannot go myself. And he also creates these butterflies in me that I cannot create on my own. This is a man with power. The definition of power is the ability to do. To do what, you may ask? Number one is to turn on a woman, is to attract a woman, is to be able to actually retain a woman. Very often when a woman breaks up with a man, it's because she just simply doesn't feel it anymore. She feels as if she's wasting her heart's potential on this man because there's no emotion there. He doesn't manage to infuse her with emotion. And this is why she's like, I can't sacrifice my heart for this guy, even though he's great, he's amazing, he's a friend, and I want him to be happy, of course. But giving my full soul, giving me, the entire me to him, it's not in conjunction with my emotions. It's not in conjunction with my heart and my sexual desire. He is powerless to create the butterflies in you. He's powerless in terms of having you be attracted to him. So you lose the attraction, you're turned off by him, and now you're trying to run the other way. So you fall in love because the man has power. And then you fall out of love because he suddenly loses his power. If you look at teenagers, look at teenage boys, you will notice that most of those teenage boys are, yes, they're going to be sometimes fired up, and then other days they're going to be like this. And they're not going to want to talk to anyone because, and they're going to be grunting. They're not going to have energy. They're not going to have power. Why is that? Because they're ejaculating on a consistent, continuous, all the time basis. So you fall in love with the guy because he's got power, but if consistently all the time is ejaculating, he's going to be emotionally unstable. And if you're emotionally unstable and he's emotionally unstable, then you're basically going to both be emotionally unstable, and that's not going to be a fantastic relationship. We know that the woman is emotionally unstable no matter what. It happens to her no matter what. Every single month, she's going to be emotionally unstable. And that's okay. In fact, it's fantastic. It's immediate feedback to the man that something is wrong and that he needs to change his approach to the way he communicates and behaves around the woman. If he does not know her cycle, if he does not know what is happening with her, then he can't lead her. This is a story I told to two of the guests in my hostel yesterday. I was explaining how in order for me to truly understand my wife, I needed to sit down with her and tell her I was willing to listen to her, I was willing to not judge her, and I wanted to hear everything about her past. Everything. All the bad, all the negative, all the positive, everything. I wanted to know who she was. Even if that included some nasty stories that, normally I would hold my ears and not want to listen to. I listened. I sat down. She began to cry. She began to cry because she was afraid that if I knew her past, I would leave her. And I was basically proving right now that I'm not going to leave you. We're gonna figure this out no matter what. I don't give up, ever. And this is why everything changed in our relationship after that. Suddenly now we were cooperating and going in the same direction in understanding the woman. This was the key. Because What I needed was a woman to stay in love with me. She was in love with me before we got married, and immediately after we got married, that love just disappeared. Whoosh, gone. And it wasn't because she chose to, it happened to her because of my behavior, because of my inability to do. I was powerless. I was not able to create the emotions in her that I desired her to have. I was not able to cheer her up when she was being depressed. I was not able to lead her along to a brighter future. That was my fault. This is why I always say that it's men's fault for what is going on in the woman's environment if he is her partner. The fact that it's his fault and that he is to blame, he can actually take upon himself the responsibility and change the situation. But we've got a problem. Because if you know that you want to fall in love and you want to stay in love, number one, you've got to understand that he needs to have power. Now, does that mean that he needs to have power over you? No, I'm not saying that. But he needs to have power to do the things that he needs to do. It doesn't have anything to do with power over you. That's not what I'm talking about at all. In fact, if he has power, he's able to lead you along to the destination you both want to go to without forcing you. The fact of the matter, if he doesn't have power, if he's unable to lead you, that's when force comes into play. This is when the feminine man will start forcing the woman to do the things that he wants to do, and he's going to be emotionally unstable and give her the silent treatment and do all kinds of manipulation in order for her to do what he wants her to do. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a man being leadership driven and understanding that if he sets the example, if he has a purpose, if he has a vision of where he's going to go, and he doesn't allow her instability to get in the way, he's able to actually take the steps necessary to solve the problem instead of just simply being dragged down by her emotional ups and downs and her problems. A woman knows this from the inside. She knows that when a man is like, oh, I don't know what to do because, well, what do you want me to do? You want everything and I can't give it to you. Like, for example, this is something that I struggle with in my, in our marriage, was the fact that my wife wanted me to be at home, helping her with the kids, of course, because she's alone at home with the kids and she was homeschooling, so she was at home with them a lot. And so when I was done working, she wanted me to come home. Now, I'm a 12-hour guy in terms of work. I love to work, and I'd rather work all the time. I don't want to go, sure, I can go home and spend time with my family, and yes, of course, that's important. But she also was saying, on the other hand, where's the money? The money is not coming in. So I can't give her all the money that she desires at the same time as she wants the time from me. Do you understand what I mean? This was a huge thing that we had to kind of figure out. And in some ways, we haven't figured it out yet because I didn't get the financials right first. So anyway, that's a discussion for another day. The point I'm making right now is that in order for you to fall in love, he has to have power. And in order for you to stay in love, he has to have power. The ability to do. Which means that if a man sucks at something and you see it, you're going to look down on him. Okay? So, which means that if you are making more money than he is, he's going to internalize that as him being powerless. This is why men are massively motivated, if they're masculine, to always make more money than their women. Always. Okay? And he's going to work hard in order to get it. Now, that might not seem like, oh, equality, all that stuff, but a man understands that a masculine man understands he must have more power than his woman for her to look up to him and for her to retain her being in love with him. So if we understand that from the get-go, in the beginning of a relationship, in the beginning of a marriage, that the man must have more power than the woman. Not bad power. Not the kind of power that the wrong guy is gonna have, but the right guy power. The guy who when he sees that you suddenly now want to stay at home and you don't want to work full time anymore, and you simply want to live your life and have time and money freedom, and you neglect the financial aspects of your life, that guy is gonna come in and say, I'm gonna step it up, I'm gonna double our money, I'm gonna 10x our money, I'm gonna make it happen. Because I know that if I do that, her love for me is going to increase. And I'm gonna be able to retain her. This is one of the ways that I've retained my wife, is I continuously improve all the time. And what I've noticed is that women very often are very, they give you so much leeway. Okay, they're like, okay, they just want to know the plan. They just want to know that you're taking action and moving in the right direction. They just don't want to see you playing video games and going out with the guys every single weekend. They don't even want you to be at home watching movies with them every single day. They might say that they desire for you to do that, but inside their heart, they're like, man, I wish he was just more motivated, that he was more aggressive when it came to his goals, and that he would just not care about what I think, but that he would just go out and do it. But I also like his company, so I want to spend time with him. That's my point. Women very often don't know what they want, but if the man understands the woman, he understands better what she needs instead of understanding what she wants, because she doesn't really know what she wants. What she needs is to fall in love and then stay in love. That's the only thing. A woman that is in love has, she's blind to all other distractions and all other things that are not working in her life. If a woman is in love, she's fired up, she's energetic, she's motivated, and she takes care of herself, and she does the things that needs to get done in order for her to keep on experiencing that love and that joy and happiness that she feels when she is in love. Women have all felt that feeling of how it is to be in love, and it came from someone who had power. Make sure you find a guy, the right guy, that has power, and not only that, but who's willing to continuously and consistently improve for you, for the family, and most importantly, for his purpose. That is more important than you as a woman, that is more important than the kids, but you are being part of that journey with him, and his purpose is massive, right? It's including the whole planet. But what provides him the joy, the true joy and happiness, the stability, the foundation, his everything, is his family. That's the priority you want him to have. And if he keeps that priority and never make you the priority, even though that's kind of weird to think about, but it's a fact. The moment a man makes you his main priority and the thing that he thinks about all the time, and how can I solve her problems, and how can I fix the relationship, and how can I make her love me, and how can I help her to be attracted to me, and he's going to be powerless when he does that. Because no matter how hard a guy tries, in fact, the harder a man tries to fix the relationship with the woman, it's only going to get worse, and she's going to run away in the opposite direction, because the more he does, the less it's going to work. What he needs to focus on is his purpose, his vision, and once he does that, and he does not care about all of your problems, of course he cares, and he listens, he doesn't judge you, and he says what's important to you is important to me. However, you've got to understand that sometimes you don't know what you want, and he needs to take charge and prioritize what's most important and be consistent with it and tell you his plan so that you know what's happening. As long as you know that things are progressing, you can relax, you can let go, you can submit and know that everything's going to be taken care of. That's what we're trying to do. That's what I wanted to share with you guys today. I hope you've had a great day. This is the Girls of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. I'll see you again in the next video.